Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Tommy Gilmore with Noisy Bird Digital Marketing, and you are watching another episode of Spotlight Southern Utah. I'm really excited. We're here on location, like you can see. We're out here in Virgin. We're with Rob and Jen, who are the owners of Dark Skies Astronomy Tours. This is a really cool spot, and I'm excited to hear about your business, so thanks for letting me come out.
Yeah, we're excited to be here, excited to talk to people and, get it out there of what we do and who we are and all that kind of stuff. So thanks for having us.
Astronomy Tours, at first I think stargazing, right? But tell me what the difference is between what you guys do and just simple stargazing, because people can probably see we've got the telescopes behind us. So walk us through like what your business is and how you got the idea for it.
So we come out here. One of the great things about coming out here, not just for the tourists who are coming out who maybe live in town and don't see stars, but for the locals who come out and they say, okay, I can see the stars for myself. Why do I need to come out here and spend money? The great thing is we'll actually teach you how to find the constellations as we go through the sky. So that when you are at your next party with your friends and you guys go outside and you're sitting around the campfire, right? You can actually talk to people about, oh, I remember this and I remember that. And then you can now be that person who talks other people through the night skies. And then again, as you mentioned, we have our telescopes behind us. We have high-end telescopes, we have optical, we have digital, we have affordable options as well. You like to go camping, you like to do that kind of a thing. We have a telescope that only weighs 3 pounds. You can easily take with you when you go camping and do this kind of stuff. So we really want to be able to show you, if you love this kind of stuff, how you can do it yourselves as well, not just to depend on coming out here and having somebody else do it, but really how you would take this and use it in your own lives. We also do astronomy presentations, so if you're just really excited about astronomy and you have a group that you need to have something to do and it needs to be in the daytime, we can also do that. We have slide presentations and we can talk to you about the stars and space and all of those kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it not only being fun for, like you said, tourists or even locals that want to come out and explore, but like, classes or even like nursing homes, things like that, it seems like would be a fun way for people to, kind of change things up a little bit and keep people that you work with engaged.
Yeah, we did just do a presentation with Ovation, it was a retirement community. They had us come out, and that was a lot of fun. We've started talking to the Boy Scouts about doing patches and doing those kinds of things. So if you have Boy Scouts who want to do a STEM stuff and astronomy stuff, we're happy to do those kinds of things too. And homeschool groups, retirement, or parties, reunions, we can do all of that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. And you guys just started the business recently, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been in business for now?
We started in May. And it's been going pretty well so far. Those first couple of months, it's always a lot of learning lessons and that kind of a thing. But yeah, we're plugging along and really excited for the future.
That's awesome. How did you get the idea for this business? Like, what got you interested in astronomy?
So the only thing I ever wanted to be when I was a kid was an astronaut. That was my thing. And I had one of those scopes. A lot of us, if you're in your 40s, is the big, long, skinny telescopes. And I fell in love with astronomy when I was a kid. When I got older, not everybody gets to go to be an astronaut, and so I went and did my normal life, but eventually I decided to do a bachelor's in space studies, and now I'm working on my master's in astronomy. There's not really a lot of work here in that industry, so you kind of have to, this is one of those industries you kind of have to create for yourselves.
Yeah.
And there are other companies here. I worked for another company doing stargazing, and they really target very high-end tourists, and when we started talking about it, we really were excited about bringing this to locals and to a demographic that maybe didn't have that same kind of money to spend, and we really wanted this to be something that could be affordable, something you could do for a date night, or you could do with your kids and make it really family friendly. And so with that in mind, we wanted to bring the different types of telescopes and really make it friendly for people who are just starting out, like I say, families, and really sort of broaden the scope of who this could be for.
Make it more of a consumer product as opposed to like a really niche high-end product.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
Everybody
awesome.
wants their awe-inspiring moment, but you also want to be able to come out,
Totally.
get it worthwhile.
That's awesome. And so it sounds like you haven't had any experiences on the International Space Station or anything quite yet. Still working on that part.
Yeah, still working on that one.
Well, so people come out, they learn about the stars, the stories of the constellations, things like that, right?
Yeah. And that's the big thing is looking at the stars is a lot of fun, but how do they connect to your life? How can we use the stars to connect back to our ancestors? How do you navigate with the stars? Those kinds of things make it more interesting. One of the lines that we came up with early on was, you don't just see the stars, you know them. By the end of the night, you'll know the stars. And it makes astronomy less something you learned in school and more something that's sort of a part of your life.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think that that's something that, you know, as cities get bigger, as southern Utah gets bigger, we see less and less of the stars. You have to go further and further out.
You do, yeah.
And so it's cool that, you know, you're reconnecting to something that for thousands of years we had this connection to, and I think in the last few generations we've sort of lost this a little bit.
And that is, astrotourism is a growing industry. It is something to keep in mind. People are coming out from places where they don't see stars at all to places like this. They are seeking these things out. They are coming to Zion specifically because Zion is a dark sky park, and keeping those designations and keeping our dark skies is actually helping draw tourism here. So it's good for us. They're coming out for the night skies, but then they're also going to go into Zion. They're going to go down into Hurricane. They're going to take ATV tours while they're here. The stars might bring them here, but they're looking for other things to do too. So we can help sort of build the rest of the tourism community by helping protect sort of the dark skies and what we have that's unique here that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't even know that Zion was a dark sky. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
And
for
Springdale.
Sure. Yeah. But
and Springdale.
It's not something I'd thought about, so that's really awesome that people do come here specifically for that.
And when you mention history, what she won't tell you, she also has a degree in history as well. And she uses that throughout the tour to give you the history, some mythology, some big stories from way back when, and how to navigate the stars as they did back in ancient times. So
that's exciting. Full transparency, I'm going to get a tour after this, so I'm excited
Brought the kids, that's exciting. Brought the kids, we love kids.
So I'm excited to kind of talk more about that. But before we start the tour, I mean, let's talk business for a couple minutes. I know that you guys are new to the business, but what are some challenges or some things that you've learned in the few months you guys have been in business since you guys started that you're like, man, I wish we hadn't done this mistake, or I wish we knew this so we didn't make this mistake, things like that?
So SEO is really important. You either need to pay somebody or you need to become an expert. If Google can't find you, you don't exist. That's just the way it is. If you are buried on page 14, you are not going to have people driven to you.
Yeah.
And I did find things like even Facebook and Instagram, they might not be the drivers, but at least they might get you higher. They might at least find that before your website. And the other thing is connecting to other businesses. That was a big one that I figured out along the way. The more businesses that you can connect to that link back to your page, the more Google will like you and the higher up that your rankings. And we have slowly sort of dug our way up through there. Your website and how well Google finds you is huge. Yeah.
What's really interesting, just a history fact since you like history, the difference between Yahoo and Google, the way that Google became the powerhouse that it is over Yahoo and some of the other search engines from back in the early 90s, early 2000s, late 90s, is backlinks. So that's what Google factored that into its algorithm, was how many other sites are linking to this website, and so that's still an important part of domain authority now. So if you own a business and you're like, how do I get Google to like me? I'm doing some of these things, but it's not really ranking my website. If you get other websites to write about your website, get those backlinks, that's a huge differentiator on Google. And even 2 or 3 good backlinks, good authority backlinks, are going to make a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a big one for us.
That's awesome. This is a very unique business. What challenges have you had with trying to market it?
And I think that's a big one. People don't even realize this exists. People don't know that this is here. Everybody's really excited once they find out, but this is not something that people are necessarily Googling. People are definitely going to be Googling the best plumber in their area.
Yeah.
So the big one for us is how do we get out there enough that people even know to look for this business.
Yeah.
And that one is really hard. That's where we started to do other connections with other companies so that the associations there will then help drive the idea that we even, like, this industry exists, let alone us in specific.
I think referrals are such a great way, especially for you guys, where you offer such a great niche service that, like you said, it's not necessarily something somebody's going to seek out a lot of times, but when you hear about it, you're like, oh, that sounds great, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So making it an add-on that somebody else can add to their whatever, like
Yeah.
saying, hey, you can take a percentage or you can mark it up or whatever, but this is our price, this is our cost of it. And if you bring us business, like we can work together on things like that. Creating
Yeah.
those relationships, I think, are going to be really big for
Yeah,
you guys.
that's really huge for us.
Yeah. And a lot of times when people think of marketing, they're thinking their website, they're thinking SEO, but that is also marketing, right?
Yeah.
That's a big part of marketing, is your network, and how do you get referrals and give referrals and all that as well.
And because this is an experience, not a product, word of mouth is huge. So the more that we can bring people out, having you come out and actually experience it, then when you go out into the community, you can tell them when I was there,
Yeah.
which is way different than these people I know.
Yeah.
So the more that we can get people out here, the more word of mouth we can build, the more that this can become something that the community knows is here.
Yeah. And is this going to be something that, because it's southern Utah and it's kind of warm year round, are you guys planning to do it year round, or
Yeah.
what's the plan with that?
So there's always the trade-off. So in the winter time, it's colder, but we start earlier.
Yeah.
So when you have kids and it's hard to bring your kids out here at 11 o'clock at night, in the winter time, if you're willing to come out here in some layers, bring your hoodies and your gloves and that kind of a thing, we can start earlier in the night. The skies are beautiful in the winter time. There's amazing stuff to see. They're really crisp and clear. But in the summertime, you push it back a lot later, but then it's a lot warmer. And so there are definitely pros and cons, and the nice thing about it is it sort of fits whatever people need.
Yeah.
It really does. You can kind of pick your time of year for what works for you.
Yeah.
We make accommodations for them. Some of our chairs are actually heated chairs,
Yeah.
and then we also give all of our customers blankets to use during the experience. Even in the
Make it
summertime,
comfy.
we have blankets available, because sometimes up here it gets a little cold.
It does get cold.
Even at night,
Yeah.
in the summertime. So, yeah, we try to accommodate for everybody and make sure, just like the sites we picked is wheelchair accessible. The areas we have, we try to make it so that we found a location, currently Gem Trailhead, BLM land that we have a special permit for.
Yeah.
And we make it so that way anybody can come out here regardless of your mobility status. So we try to make it friendly for all to come out, from little kids all the way to elderly. We've had people, if you see behind the telescopes, we have tablets on them, and we make it so that way even if you aren't able to get out of your chair very easily, we'll bring the tablet to you and show you all the nebulas and galaxies. We've done that with an elderly gentleman that was on one of our tours.
Yeah.
So we've tried to make it as friendly, community friendly, and good for any walks of life.
Everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited, guys. We'll probably wrap this up just so that we can get started, because it's starting to get dark here.
Yep.
But it sounds like you guys are saying that the experience in the summer versus the winter is different. So even if
It
people
is.
come out this
Yeah.
summer, if they wanted to come out in the quote-unquote off-season maybe, then there would be a different experience for them to have.
Definitely. And for the locals, there are different skies. So the things that we can show you in the summertime are going to be different. There's different constellations, there's different objects in the sky, there's different stories to be told. So it is one of those things that is definitely repeatable. You can come out every once in a while, and definitely something that you can come back and see something new.
We'll be offering discounts for repeat customers.
Yeah,
as
repeat
well.
customers.
And we
Yeah.
offer, as we're a veteran-owned and operated company, we do offer discounts for veterans, active as well as first responders. And since we are very education-based, college students also get a discount. So.
That's a great opportunity. So guys, if you're watching and you want to come out and learn, what's the website that they should check out to schedule that time? Because they can do that right from the website.
Yes. So we're at Dark Skies Astronomy Tours. We do have an associated Facebook and an Instagram. I'm not quite savvy enough to use TikTok just yet, but my daughter's getting me there. And then again, the website is Dark Skies Astronomy Tours. You can book through there. There's questions. You can always call us. We have facts on there. We have pictures and we have descriptions and that kind of a thing, so you get kind of an idea of what the experience would be like.
And yeah, all one word, darkskiesastronomytours.com, .org, or .net. We own all three.
Oh, cool.
So,
and they all go to the same
all three
one.
should get you there.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
smart. Well, guys, thank you so much for letting me come out and learn a little bit about what you do. Go check out darkskiesastronomytours.com. I'm going to put the link in the description there. Come out and book. This is a really cool opportunity. I'm really excited that it's starting to get dark here, because it is starting to get late, like you said.
Yeah.
But I'm really
Yeah.
excited. I think this will be a cool thing, because it's not something I've focused on since elementary school, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's something that I know that my kids will be excited about, and it'll bring out my inner child, I think, a little bit too.
It's fun. I love what I do. And I love people coming out and having questions and getting into stuff and really nerding out
tour is
about
the same.
space.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's all
exciting
energy
stuff.
based off the groups that we get.
Yeah.
Small groups all the way to larger groups. We've done reunions. So yeah, we are available for corporate events and private events. If your company has a team building exercise they want to do, come on out.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's a very versatile, really fun thing, so that'll be great.
And everything fits in our truck, so if you have a place that you
We're
want to
mobile.
have it hosted in your location, we can do it there as well.
That's cool too. And
We
that's
have-
the
There's a yoga retreat that we're doing in October.
oh, cool.
That they asked us to come to their location at Airbnb. So yeah, we all walks of life, like I said, all lifestyles, and we just we enjoy.
Yeah. Well, and the other nice thing is, you know, I don't have to bring anything. You guys have all the chairs set up for us. You have all the equipment, so it's pretty minimal effort on our part. We just show up and come.
Fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Come check them out. Come book your tour. And we'll see you guys next week. We'll be live with another episode of Spotlight Southern Utah. And we'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.